The phase was pursued, developed through growth, the so-called extensive industrialization, the substitution, import substitution policies. The idea was we got to have industry in this country, otherwise we will be unable to have any possibility of development. Who said that? Please wait. Phase 2, search of development through efficiency. The whole, from 1980s on, many government programs, even the private sector start to be concerned in issues like quality, efficiency, to organize the process, etc., etc. And then phase 3, search of a new type of development. 2000 watts is a question. Innovation will be the central issue. It seems so. I believe so. And I have reasons to sustain that belief. Anyhow, what is important through this phase, all this phase, is to keep in mind that despite the problems you are going to see, I'm going to show you in a few minutes, the so-called linear model for science and technology keeps its influence throughout the society, particularly the government institutions, even private sector, even some academics. I'm a little bit reluctant to say that it will be the majority. Let's keep it that way, some academics. If some is the majority, something else. So, then I ask you, please forgive me too, I'm going to use this, not before, I ask forgiveness for using this because this is the most sensible thing to do. I mean, you have to have a reliable source. But because I didn't, I haven't time to, copy and Control-C, Control-D, Control-C, Control-V. So let's try, oops, no. How I do here? Oh, there you are. Yeah, works. No, I think you don't need to use this now. Just a reference. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. Let's go back here. Yes, I did. So, Brazil, it's for these standards. I mean, the number of annual master and PhD degrees that has been achieved. You see from 1996, we start a steady growth in the master's programs in Brazil, and also the PhD degrees.
What is CMT?
I'm sorry?
What is the CMT?
Where is it?
At the top. Oh, okay. Yeah, CNC. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't translate that. I was looking. That's the sort of problem I was telling you. I mean, because I have had so many papers and documents I have been through the last 2 weeks in preparing this presentation here, that and the majority of them, absolute majority, is in Portuguese. So either I go read through and try to figure out what is the key part of it, and then afterwards to translate. So, but I'm prepare a paper from this, which is, by the way, the last part of it, the concluding part, was a work done by 2 PhD students of mine in 1909. Yes, 1909. And so I'm prepared this, as I said, paper for submit to publicize. And it will be a paper by 3 of us. Huh? So they somehow they are through here, especially by the end part of it, was their work that I asked them to do. Of course, we talk all the time, but anyhow. So, as I say, by this standard, master degrees is up, PhD programs also is increasing. The number of graduate programs, you see, from 1996 to 909. I remember I said that the curve start to raise by 1996. Here is Federal University, public Federal University. Here is state public universities. And here is private institution, private, usually the majority is also private universities. Although you have some independent institution, private independent institution that not belong to a university structure. And also here does include the so-called professional master program, which start from 1999 here. Scholarships also have been increased. This is the total number. Here it comes from CAPES. CAPES is a very important government agency. CAPES was being set up in 1951, together with CNPq. What's the difference between CAPES and CNPq? It's quite simple. When the government at that time, the 50s, decided to, okay, we are going to promote science and technology, we got to have scientific and technological capabilities. So let's founding the research. Then someone tell, which research? We didn't have. That's the truth. For historical reasons that, please forgive me, I don't have time to go into details, but just say that we have the first university at the beginning of 20th century. If you look at your United States history, you will understand what I'm trying to say. So CAPES was set up with the mission to promote the capability of professors who would like to get into the academic life, which, by the way, was something not well known at that time. Wasn't part of, how could you, not even the culture of professors. Professors just meaning the guy who went in the class in the front of students and start to speak blah, 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 blah. This was the professor. I'm being a bit rude, but it's not too much. So it was necessary an institution to get this done, to prepare the researchers. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the science. and satellite technology. And I will mention just one important feature of the CAPS. When CAPS start, a little bit earlier, the University of São Paulo has been also set up. I think it was 1948, if I'm not mistaken. And CAPS was very shining, so to speak, in promote these efforts. But then the government started to expand, to strengthen the policies along the time for reasons I'm going to stress later on. And then CAPS decided that legally would be any program in Brazil that could state that this is a master or a PhD program is out being qualified by CAPS. When this was promoted as a law, University of São Paulo, I mean, who knows São Paulo here? Have you been there? Yeah. You know, what I'm saying, I'm not talking about any comparison with the United States. It wouldn't be polite. But the so-called Paulistas are so proud of themselves. They think Brazil exists due to them. You know, if it were São Paulo, Brazil was.
The Paulistanos, even more.
Even more. It's like Argentina, you know. The people from Buenos Aires. There is a joke among the Brazilians. There is an Argentina here? No? Who? No? There is a joke among the Brazilians. Say, listen, if you'd like to get a lot of money, buy an Argentina, means the guy from Buenos Aires, there is a special, I can't remember now, porteño, assim yes. Buy one porteño by the value it is really worth, and sell by the price he believes he worth. You'll be rich. We love each other, you know. We Brazilian, Argentina. Anyhow, so it was a fight for some years until USP, which is the University of São Paulo, realized that yes, it is important to have all the programs be certified, be assessed regularly. So when you set up a program, a master program or PhD, it has to be approved by CAPS. Who is CAPS, by the way? This is an important thing. CAPS is made up by the scholars. It's not by bureaucrats. The president and the director, board of directors, yes, he has been nominated by the president. Yes, it's okay. But the whole institution, the guys who make the assessment are scholars. So we are assessed by our peers. Simple as that. And the guys who are in the same field your program is. So, and this is very important because every 3 years, CAPS assess all programs. And if not achieve some minimum standards, you'll be disqualified. And then the program will have, depends of the situation, have some 1 year to try to recover, case by case. But this improves quite a lot the quality of scientific production. lets me go faster, otherwise I would get not even by the middle. So the number of PhD, Brazil is, I think, oops.
That's the overall number, not the number per population.
No. It's absolute numbers. Yeah, Brazil is here. I do have, but I have to choose what I'm put here. But when you look, make this the number of the relative number, then the situation is a little bit worse than in absolute numbers. And it will be much worse when you analyze the fields in which those PhD and master has been set up. You know. Most of them are so-called people from management, lawyer, economists, things like that. We need engineer.
I don't think law and economics are usually considered humanities, although perhaps.
Well, yes, I understand your point. And I don't have this kind of problem. I mean, since I have moved so widely, so I don't know what field I am. True. And this is a problem for me. Huge problem. This is interesting. The scientific papers index. This has been the source Thomson-Reuters. And now the Brazilian, who is the Brazilian? Oh, no, it's okay. All this is the Brazilian, and here in relation to world production. So we are here. The total number of scientific papers published by Brazilian research is, in all fields, of course, is somewhere around here. Again, to get in depth and analyze the kind of issue we are talking about, and I propose to talk about here, unfortunately, I hadn't time to dig in those data and get out the data related to the specific fields that are connected with the agro-business sector and the aeronautics engineering. Why I'm saying that? Because I know, but I didn't even wrote here because I didn't produce the source, but I know because I read, I could figure out where I could dig, as I said, but I didn't have time. That when you look these figures by fields, for instance, and biologic kind of research, scientific papers, papers in the area of genetic fields applied to agriculture, etc., then is much greater than hopefully 3 something. If I'm not wrong, is around 15%. So it's quite something. By the way, a lot of research had come to Wisconsin University in the agriculture, many of them. Oops. Let's go. What's this? It's Brazilian scientific papers growth. Again, now we have this is the index of growth, Brazil. It grows 3